or good evening, everyone, depending on where you are. Welcome to our 2023 Pa'ao Dhamma teaching series. We're very honored to have Venerable Panyatika Lankara to continue on the series on the profound Pali Nikaya study and discussion on its daily applications. We're also very honored to have University of the West Religious Studies Department in California, USA, and Pa'ao Sundara Bhumi, Indonesia, to co-host the series. The teaching of the series is scheduled for 1.5 hours, including Q&A. Today is part 3. Now, before teaching starts, here are just a few housekeeping reminders. We're using simultaneous interpretation Zoom functionality for today's teaching. First, let's briefly go over the channel selection and take a minute to select your preferred language channel. If you see a globe icon on your Zoom screen, that is an interpretation icon. Please go there to choose among English, Chinese, Indonesian, or Vietnamese according to your language preference. If you like to listen in English, we suggest you still going to select the English channel rather than saying at off or original sound channel. Otherwise, you will not be able to hear the English interpretation from the Chinese, Indonesian, or Vietnamese during the Q&A portion. Now, if you use a cell phone or a mobile device after you select the language channel, make sure you also click done to complete the selection. Please go ahead and select your preferred language channel now. If you have any questions, please send it to Zoom chat room. Also, just a very quick reminder about proper Dhamma learning etiquette. Even though this is a virtual Zoom session, please dress appropriately, sit upright, or pay full attention during the teaching to show respect to the teacher and the Dhamma. Thank you for your cooperation. Now we're ready for the teaching. May we invite Sadhu to start the teaching and Interpreter Bande and Interpreter Dhamma friends to start the interpretation, please. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, thank you, Derek, for your introduction. And let's start our today's Nikaya study, reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Okay, welcome back to Nikaya study. Today is part 3 on the discourse of Supreme Net, which is called Brahmajala Sutta, the first sutta of Digha Nikaya. So we have studied the introductory part of the Brahmajala Sutta, and we read the Buddha's advice, a wonderful advice will be very beneficial in our life if we can apply. And 3 sessions of modalities. After that, we have studied 16 out of 18, the 16 round view related to the past, as mentioned in the sutta. So today we will continue studying the remaining 2 views of the past, the Bobanda Nuditi. The remaining 2 views is in the group of the Aditya Samuppanawara in Pali. In English, it is translated as the Chang's originationist, or we can say the originationism. This is related to round view. So in these 2 round view, the holder of these round views claim the cell and wall come to appear by chance. It's not related to any creator or any reason. And the self and wall come to appear by chance without any reason. So, according to them, and just come to appear, we cannot find any reasonable cause of self and wall. Let's see the past the pathway of the round view in the a chance originationists. And the first one come through personal experience. So I have explained about the Brahma realms in the lesson 2. There are one of the Brahma realms that belong to only physical body, no mentalities at all. That is a kind of Brahma according to the 31 plane of existence of the Buddhist cosmology. There, the Brahma in the Asanya Satta is called Asanya Satta. Asanya is perception. So Asanya means no perception at all. Still that is considered as the living beings, although it doesn't have any perception and also any kinds of consciousness. That's why this is translated as the unconscious or non-percipient being, Asanya Satta. Okay, let's consider the Brahma, that kind of Brahma, was living in Asanya Satta realm of existence. Only the process of materialities. Then, after the last moment, all the life start with the rebirth moment and end in the death moment. So we can see after the death moment of Asanya Satta, this is the nature when they die after death moment and they come to the sensual realm of existence. So to be reborn in the sensual realm of existence, we can understand the past moment is rebirth moment of sensual realm. Then they come to the sensual realm as a living being, which is a concept of mental process and material process. So at that moment, when they come to arise here, the realm of existence in this world, if we say in the human world, is at the very beginning moment is called rebirth moment of human life. Then we can find there the mentality and materialities. So among these mentalities group, perception is there, arise the perception. So at the moment, he come to be conception of in this life, the perception arise. But before that, during the lifetime of Asanya Satta Brahma, no perception at all, no consciousness at all. So in this way, we can understand the arising of perception as a beginning of this life. If we cannot go beyond this Asanya Satta life, this is very fast case, very fast moment of the mentality. Okay, in the same way, they arise in the realm of human realms. Then he practice meditation, and he can recall his less existence. So in the Asanyasata realm, they are only materiality. He could not find any mentality. So like a stone or statue, stone statue or wooden statue there. And after that, this moment of rebirth in this life is beginning of perception. So by recalling, by remembering only the last moment, he could not go beyond that. So he considered all the perception and all the mentality come to appear by chance. Because he cannot discern any reason, any condition for the mentalities, arising of mentality in this life. That's why he made conclusion, wrong conclusion. In this way, self and world come to appear by chance. And in this way, he hold this view. And this is the first one. So how the first one hold the wrong view of chance origination. And for the second one, he's just a logician or reasoner. He does not have any ability to see the past. And he just developed his way of thinking and he make wrong conclusion in this way. Actually, according to the Buddhist explanation, everything here related to the life is dependent on the condition. So condition produces the result. And the life is the process of condition and conditional phenomena, cause and effect relationship. That's why from the Buddhist standpoint, this kind of views are called wrong view. Okay, this is the last part or the last true wrong view of the past. So speculative view related to the past, Bobanda nudity. Okay, today we are going to talk about the others view, wrong view related to the aparanta. So aparanta is the future extreme. So there are 44 wrong view related to the future extreme. So former 18 are related to the past extreme. And so the remaining 44 will be connected to the future. Okay, so the past group belong to 16 wrong view in one collection related to the future. And this is called the Sanyiwara. 16 wrong views are called Sanyiwara. Because according to the common assumption for all 16 wrong view is Sanyi. Sanyi is conscious or percipience. It means after this life. So this is talking about the future. That's why after this life, that moment of this life, the self will continue. It will have the consciousness, percipience, and thanks to take the object to know something. And this is common assumption for all system wrong view. Then how they develop is, okay, so this life we know, but after this life is that moment, this self will continue. And here healthy, arogo, healthy mean immutable. It will continue or or lasting long. And you can see the everlasting. This mean this is this expression of arogo. Maybe in other place it just mentioned about the healthy. So some scholars they translate as healthy, but this one is not enough. That's why I'm Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi modifying translation the immutable to give a sense to introduce what it mean according to this person. So after death, this self will continue as immutable substance. And it also will have the consciousness and conscious nature. Then he developed different way up to 16. So the first one, basically after death, the self will be continuing as a existing substance, and also it will have conscious. Then the first one have the materialities, also will have the materialities. So in this way, he made conclusion on this kind of view, also wrong view. So after that moment of this life, cell will continue as the the permanent substance, and also will have the conscious nature and materialities, have the materialities. So this is the first wrong view. Then second wrong view, so based upon their common assumption, he continue immaterial. So the first one is not right, because after this death moment of this life, cell will continue. This is right. Was also were conscious, but no more materialities after this death moment. The second one hold the different from the first one. Then the third one, he said, okay, so both mature and immature. In some cases, immature with mature, and some cases without maturities. And for some people, they are thinking that, oh, neither mature or nor immature. So in this way, it becomes four round view based on this principle. And another group, finite and infinite, they are talking about, okay, cell will be finite in certain period of times. And some saying, oh, no end mark and time, so it will continue endlessly, so infinite. And some saying both infinite and infinite, and some rejecting in both sides. So these are the 8 round view based upon common assumption, and it will continue for the another 2 group. Here, group C and group D. So this group C and group D, it can continue only for those who hold the cell. After that, the cell will continue with the conscious nature, sanyi. So that's why in the following group, they will not be included. So here, in group C, based upon the common assumption, arogo, sanyi is okay. But sir, the uniform perception, is they know, they know the after death. Some people are continuing their life, but they are focusing on one object of meditation, and they remain there in taking the meditation's object. And so they are talking this ikata sanyi, so uniform. So in this slide, and even my mind, myself, they're considering this. Myself taking different object and keeping different perception. But after that, that will go into this situation of uniform perception. Then some saying varied perception, no uniform, because it will take different perception. And because some they are, when they are discerning the future, some people just like in normal life, living in normal life, they still continue in different way of consideration, taking different object, keeping different perception. That's why the second one say varied perception. And the third one, limited perception, is not that powerful. That's why limited perception. And some talking about the the boundless level of perception, because after development and of the mental powers, one can extend to the endless perception, the perception larger. And these are sometimes, these are very complicated to understand. That's why you just take a note. I would like to suggest this and just keep in, or these are called round view. But later on, after reading the Samsutta, and you will collect some knowledge, basis knowledge, and you can come back and you read again, and very easy to understand again. Okay, so in the group D, the holy is exclusively happy because that person see the in the Brahma realms, the Brahmas are living, continue their living with the happiness only, no more suffering. That's why he made conclusion, after death moment, it will continue with the conscious nature and with the exclusively happiness, full of happiness only. And for some people, they are seeing the beings in the miserable realm of existence like a hell. So they make conclusion, exclusively miserable. And some seeing like a human beings, like other human beings, in both sides, sometimes happiness come into mind and sometimes miserable situation. And but some people, they see, like the Asanyasada in the Sarin Brahma realm, which is called Vihapala. Vihapala, in that case, is very, the happiness also not very obvious because subtle level of happiness, and or we can say like equanimity level. Then the beings mostly living in their life with the equanimity feeling, and that's why neither happy nor miserable in the realm of existence. So due to how they can descend, they make conclusion, but based upon the existence of self after death as the immutable substance, they make wrong conclusion. So these are system wrong view, which is called Sanniwada, because they, according to them, the conscious nature come into still continuing in the life. Okay, so another group is called Asanniwada. So Asanni, the opposite of the Sanni. So he made the claim. It is right. The self after death will continue. Also, it will have the immutable nature, but non-percipients, no more or ability to sense, to get the sense, to enjoy the sense. And that is his conclusion. This is Asanniwada. And another group, 8, this also continued the past, group A and group B, the same repetition. Only different is Asanni in the common assumption. And the another 8 round view, whole, Niwa Sanyana Sanyi, just making this part change. And neither consciousness nor unconsciousness. So the round view conclusion can be done based upon according to their understanding, their level of understanding. Then they make wrong conclusion. Then the statement are the same, Rupi, material and immaterial, like this. So because in these two groups, self continuing but unconscious, or neither conscious nor unconscious. That's why it cannot serve. This is the finite or infinite. The same. This is the Ekadasanyi, uniform or buried, because there's no consciousness at all. There's no conscious nature. So they cannot claim uniform or buried, and also limited or unlimited. And also the happiness or miserable, because only when the conscious nature exists, the happiness and miserable can be possible to make a judgment. Okay, so this is the reason in these two groups, the view become only 8. So altogether 32 round view are counted. Okay, so as another group, the Uchirawara, which is called Uchirawara. Uchira is, cutting off after this life, is the annihilationist. According to them, after this life, no more continuation. So here, annihilation, which is called Uchira, and the destruction is imperceptible, not existing in any form you can perceive. Then non-existence of beings, this is called the completely disappearance. According to these 7 round view, we have to understand what they are going to claim. Okay, so let's study what are the process of forming this kind of round view. The past person, in this case, I would like to say that some people, after the attainment, they practice meditation and reach into the certain level of concentration, and they can see the future continuation, and they try to discern their connection. Then when they are focusing where this person reborn, if the person died, and they try to discern where this person go, then if they discern the arahat, because according to Theravada tradition, after that moment of arahat, there's no more life. The process of mentality and materialities are completely ceased. This is called entering to the nibbana, with the attainment of nibbana. So arahat has no future life. That's why he cannot find the rebirth after that moment of arahat. Then he made conclusion, life after death is nothing. There's no more rebirth after that moment. Like this. This also a kind of round view. Even if he has the certain level of concentration and he could discern this situation, he can make wrong conclusion up to this stage. And for some people, by their power, they can just see the death moment. He already died. He already died here in this life. But for lack of his ability to see their rebirth moment, he cannot see any rebirth. But he could see the death moment of the different beings. So he also can make wrong conclusion because he could not see any rebirth of living beings. So these are wrong conclusion or wrong view that can be held by the person who attain the level of concentration. But these all 7 mentioned in this sutta are not related to that person. This person, this 7 wrong view, let's see, how it becomes they can see the life in the human realms and sense-sphere deva realms. The beings are in 2 kinds of realm of existence. We can see they have the materialities. So they give the statement by referring to the self. So here also self. Self has the materialities and composed of 4 great elements. So they consider self and the physical body. So self belongs to physical body. And it's also composed of 4 great elements because they know the elements of fire and the earth and wind elements and water elements. Composed of these 4 great elements, the body come to appear. And also considering about the human life, this is the product of mother and father. How this come, they discern according to their knowledge. So then they make their conclusion, after breaking out of this body, it is annihilator. It's what completely seeks at this. So for another person, he give the statement, oh, I accept you are saying that the body of the human realm is okay, but there is another self, another kinds of self continuing after this life or human realm, because it's reborn in the divine life. But the second person can see the divine beings after human life. So the first person just see only the human realms, human life. So this person give the statement, after the divine life is gone, after that moment of divine life, so this cell will be terminated. It will cease completely. So in this way, he made conclusion after divine life, the annihilation is happening, already perished, everything gone. So according to his explanation, the divine life still possesses the materialities, still belonging to the sense sphere, and need the supplement of real food. This is the 6 Deva realm, referring to the sense sphere Deva realms. Then the second one, the second round view is going beyond that. Not only the divine life, what you mentioned, this belong to the sense sphere. It can still continuing, the self are continuance after that, this divine life. It still have the material, but mind made. So mind made means after the attainment of jhana, that by the power, they reborn in the Brahma realm and continue the life. With the complete sense organ that can be obtained in the Brahma realms. So this kind of beings, if there is being and there must be self, they are thinking that. That's why the second person pointing out, oh, you just see the sensual divine life, but actually the self is continuing in the Brahma realm in this way. Then the third one, sorry, it should be 3%, right? Here, oh, sorry. Here, this is number 1 and number 2, right? And this one should be number 3, actually. It already changed after, arrangement, okay? So you have to change if you have this slide. And this is the first person, he made conclusion after human life. And the second person make the conclusion after divine life. And the third person make the conclusion after Brahman life. These are 3 round view. That's why here we will start from the fourth. For the fourth person, it continuing talking about the life of immaterial beings. So there are beings without any materialities or no physical body for them. Only mentality is hidden. But you will have some question about that, how we can call only mentality as a being. But this is, the Buddhist cosmology explanation. This kind of beings are there. Only mentality is hidden. And there are 4 realms of existence. We call the Brahmawa, Arupa Brahmawa, immaterial Brahma. They reborn in the immaterial life. That some people, they can discern, they can know the existence of the immaterial life. Then they give the different statement according to their ability. So here the past person say, after this life, they are going beyond the bodily sensation. It means the no more of physical body, and when disappearance of all kinds of physical substance, but still remaining to continue as a being, the mentality only remaining there. And so he attained a certain level of concentration to continue as a mental process in that life of existence. So taking the space, infinite space, as it is object. So as long as the person is taking the materiality as it is object, he cannot continue the life there, because his mentality is strongly connected to the materiality. But for this person, after practicing meditation, he could remain his mentality just connected to the infinite space as it is object. And that power of concentration, he reborn in the certain space only as the mental process. This is called the sphere of infinite space. This is Arupa realm. Arupa realm is called the immaterial realm of existence. Then by seeing this kind of living being, the person make a conclusion, or self still can continue in the immaterial states. So he gives another statement. And going beyond the immaterial state related to the infinite space, another person claim, or you just see that, and I can claim this consciousness is infinite. So some meditator, they develop their concentration, taking the consciousness referring to the past one. The first, going beyond that, just taking the consciousness as infinite, and they reborn there. The third person is taking the more subtle level, because his meditative mind taking nothingness, not directly to consciousness, the nothingness. This one at the beginning, for the beginner of this study, and very complicated. So you just take a note, all related to the immaterial living beings, and they are giving their conclusion related to the immaterial plane of existence, immaterial beings there. And for the last one, so neither perception nor non-perception level. So going to the more subtle level, in this way, different beings they found, and then they give, after their life, the life will be annihilated. So all around, because based upon the existence of self, they all making conclusion based upon the existence of self. Because according to Buddhism, there's no such kind of entities to say, to claim the existence of self as they mentioned. Okay, so let's continue the next group. And the next group, Ditta Dhamma Nibbana Vada. So Ditta Dhamma is the very present life in this present existence. So you can reach to the state of Nibbana. So they claim the state of Nibbana in this very life, referring to the different statement, different kinds of life situation. So the first one, referring to the enjoyment of sensual pleasure. So if you can enjoy the sensual pleasure, and you can realize through your own experience, this is Nibbana. They claim Nibbana in this very life, in this very present existence. If you can enjoy and indulge with the sensual pleasure, it's called Nibbana. They claim in this way. But this is also wrong. It's not like this. It's not called Nibbana. Only when the person can enjoy with the sensual pleasure. That's why second person, oh, you just say this. Okay, I accept this is sensual pleasure. But there are another way to claim the Nibbana, because if you just make your claim with the sensual pleasure, I can point out the sensual desire are impermanent, painful, and subject to change. If there is no enjoyment or the sensual pleasure gone, the suffering come into your life. That's why the sensual desire cannot be assumed as the Nibbana, because it can transform into the suffering. So here the Nibbana, they are thinking the completely the flaming out, or the end of all kinds of suffering. That is why second person point out this still related to the suffering. That's why if you make this kind of conclusion, it will not be correct. So I can give the statement self entering to the Nibbana, and he introduced the jhana level, which go beyond the sensual desire and go beyond the unwholesome nature. Then he gave the statement about the first jhana, so thinking and ponderance, the exhale, and also delight and happiness, and born of detachment. So this kind of meditative attainment come with the happiness. So if you can enjoy, it is Nibbana. It is out of suffering. The second person claim. But according to the Buddhist perspective, this is also not correct. This we can say the second happiness related to the jhana is better than the happiness related to sensual pleasure. But this is not the complete destruction of the suffering. That's why this is not Nibbana. So the third person continue, this first jhana also we cannot consider in that state, because it is gross, still gross. What does gross mean? It still has the sense of suffering. What is the sense of suffering in the first jhana? We can enjoy happiness. Yes, that's right. Still have the happiness, but subsiding, the self with the thinking and pondering. It is a kind of suffering. Thinking and pondering is on account of suffering. It can lead to the suffering, disturbance. That's why if you can keep aside, or if you can subside the thinking and pondering, so the second jhana appear, but with the quality, inner quality of tranquilities and oneness of mind, the better qualities. And in that state, you can see the second jhana, which is born of concentration, as a Nibbana. This is the third person's view, but still not correct. Then another person claim, okay, so you say the second jhana as a Nibbana, it is not correct. It's also still grossness, because the problem is present or delight. So delight, we call the piti in Pali. That is a kind of disturbance. So if you can put aside the delight, one of the delights, and dwell in equanimity, you can attain the third jhana with a clear awareness experiencing, still have the happiness there. Yeah, joy is called the sukha. Sukha, but this jhana is much subtle and better than the second jhana. This is worth to claim as nibbana, he said, but still not correct. And for the last person, he could found the fourth jhana. He pointed out the grossness of the third jhana. This is the mind contain the idea or joy, still have the happiness on that. This is not completely nibbana. If you can go beyond the pleasure and pain, keeping the equanimity and mindfulness only in the pure level, then that is called fourth jhana. That must be the real statement of nibbana, and he claimed. But all of them, they claim are not correct. The nibbana is none of them. So in this way, we can count in the round view related to the futures are the first group 16, and second group 8, third group 8, and the fourth group 7, and the last group consists of 5. So these are 44 round view related to the future extreme. So here in conclusion, the 18 round view related to parts, 44 round view related to future, altogether 62 round view are mentioned by the Buddha in this discourse of supreme net. Then the Buddha made conclusion, there is no other way. It means if someone bring the new view, if it is correct, we can say this is not round view. And if it is not correct, and we can match any of these 62, so this will be not a new round view. It can be included any of 16, connected to any of 16. Then, okay, so after that, the Buddha gave the statement, very interesting. This Buddha's level of understanding about the view. So here the Tathagata reference to the Buddha. He understand these all kinds of round view, all kinds of view. But the Buddha himself not holding them, and he does not attach to them. Here, holding the 62 round view, any of 62 round view, and that person, the round view holder, cannot go beyond the life, because the round view, when it is grasped and adhere, this can lead to any of destination, such and such destination. Sometimes some people thinking the divine life is the nirvana, and they're trying to get it. Then some people thinking the Brahma life is nibbana, and they're trying to get it. And some people thinking, well, self is continuing, and they're trying to continue. So in this way, if a person hold and grabs any around view, that lead to destination. That's why they cannot go beyond their life cycle. Then for the Buddha himself, he knows, getting the knowledge, even to the knowledge, he didn't attach to that knowledge. Then he experienced himself the perfect peace, and he understood the rising and passing away of feeling, and he attained the final liberation. So because of this situation, detached and seeing the true nature of them, and this make the Tathagata in another level of another position, different from round view holder. Okay, so if a person at the beginning, the Buddha, after explaining how to keep our attitude if someone praise or criticize, and if a person praise the Buddha by the morality, it is just a small part. of the honoring. But if someone praise the Buddha, by this knowledge, the Buddha understand the 62 round view and rising a person a way of feeling here referred to the if a person get the idea or the knowledge related to his personal experience, he feel the delightful feeling, this delightful feeling. But for the Buddha, he has understood rising and passing away. This is not to attach, and he detached himself. Then he could go beyond by the knowledge, go beyond all kinds around you. If someone prays in this statement, and he will truthfully praise and rightly speak to the Buddha's honor, Buddha's virtues. So this is higher praise than the praising with the moralities. Then if you want to appreciate the Buddha or giving the honor with your statement, and you need to know how to praise the Buddha. Okay, then another different kinds of statement given by the Buddha related to the 62 round view. So if you read, just go to this part, this different the expression in the sutta is there. You can see the conclusion of round view. Then the round view related to past, future, and both, and they come from the feeling. I mentioned that they got the personal experience or the idea, and the feeling come out, and they delight. This is the delight 62 round view that is based on the delightful feeling. And for those who do not see this feeling, how it come to appear, and they get into the statement, the situation of worry and vacillation, it must with the craving. So with the cravings, they claim based upon the feeling with the craving after that, and this all come into the situation of worry and vacillation. And another explanation, the Buddha said, 62 round view are conditioned by contact. So because the contact, if a person come through the self-experience, there must be object and his any kinds of sensibility. In connection or in pigment of this object and the things, and the feeling come to appear. By that feeling, they make conclusion and go into round view. This is Pasapajyawara, pointing of the context as the cause. Then in the third one, Buddha gave the statement, it is impossible without context, the feeling arise, it is impossible. So because the context of the object and sense is the strong support for the feeling to arise. So these are concerning about the conditioning or origination, how the round view come to appear. That's why in this case, we can conclude that the round view come to appear with the condition, not appearing without condition. Okay, so as a conclusion, if some coming into the round of rebut continuing, so it is called the vada. So it is called the vada. A vada is the running around. So if we see how it's come to appear and running around, the feeling is here. Experience of the feeling experience or the feeling through the context. So as mentioned in the previous slide, context based upon the sensing space and the object. The context appear that cause to the feeling. Okay, this is just a natural process. If we see something, the context of the object and sense impact, then the feeling come to appear. Then the feeling, if we don't have any ability to control, to manage, it turn to be conditioned of the craving. So due to the feeling, craving arise. After craving, the clinging, after craving come and we make conclusion and then we cling to that object or that statement, that experience. After that, this process of suffering continue. So clinging to becoming this life started. Then there's the birth. After birth, we cannot avoid the aging, death, and sorrow, lamentation, etc. This kind of suffering. We just see the suffering if we don't concern about the origin. So these kinds of suffering come to appear through the context. So Buddha pointed out the context as the cause of wrong view to continue the life cycle. Okay, this is running out in the life cycle. What about the ending? So ending point, if someone sees, so the context of the six sense based upon eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind, the context come to appear. And if a monk here mentioned by the name of monk, but everyone, rising and passing away, focusing on the risings and passings away as they really are. And he knows to see this is not the cause to be running into the wrong view conclusion. Then he go beyond this wrong view. Then after that, this he can be out of the suffering cycle. As long as he cannot see that there's rising and passing away and cannot go into the different way, he will continue in holding wrong view again and again, any of 62 wrong view. And Buddha gave the example of the skilled fisherman when he already covered a small piece of water with a fine mesh net and thinking on all kinds of creature in this water are caught by my net because it is very small and he cover the whole area of the water by his net. In the same way, the Buddha gave the statement, all kinds of wrong view in this world are included in the net of the 62 division. Okay, so then the Sutta explained with the message, this is an important message, the claim of the Buddha. So here in this Sutta, the Buddha claimed about his situation after life. So the Buddha's already cut off the link which can bound with the becoming. So the life come with the condition. The Buddha already cut off the link. Then, so the Buddha gave his future statement. As long as the body is it, the Deva and human, everybody can see the Buddha. But after breaking up of the body, this means after death moment of the Buddha, the Buddha was born there in India according to the traditional literature. after that life, 18, at the age of 18, he passed away. So the passed away, the last moment is death moment of the Buddha. After death moment, which is called, we give the honor by the word Prinibbana. The last moment of final Prinibbana, no one will see the Buddha anymore because there's no condition to give any life. So the Buddha will not exist. But this is clear statement about the situation of the Buddha after death. So if you are expecting, or if I call the Buddha, or if I pray the Buddha to come and save or come and help, you have to remember this statement given by the Buddha in this sutta. So after the last moment, the death moment of the Buddha's life, he already disappeared and no more existing. So he cannot come and save according to this statement. And the example is given this. And as a last part, Venerable Ananda, disciple of the Buddha, he asked the name, with the delightful feeling. And he asked, what is what is the name of this discourse? And Buddha himself gave the 5 names. These are called the Atthajala, the net of advantage, and Dhammajala, the net of Dhamma, Brahmajala, supreme net. So this one is popular and given the name, but you can name any of these 5. And Ditthijala, the net of use. And as a last one, Anuttara Sankama Vijaya is incomparable victory of the battle, victory and battle. So these are 5 names given by the Buddha according to this sutta. So at the end, the sutta expressed the special events which has appeared at the end of this course. There's 1,001 system shock, like an earthquake, but this is a kind of miracle, to get, I think, to have the attention of the audience. This is not the small one, the special events to explain the 62 round view, and even this war system come with the miracle. Okay, so this is the last part of this course, studying this course about the Supreme Net 62 round view. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. And next sutta will be talking about the benefits of the homeless life or the samana lives. It's also very interesting, explaining systematically about the practice. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Sayadaw, thank you very much for your teaching. We have about 27 minutes left. First, we do have a few announcements to make, and then afterwards, is it okay we have the floor for some Q&A?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So,
so the just to clarify, during each session, Sayadaw would explain the outline of every sutta one by one. There